Back now with more breaking news. This major house fire, several houses burning in Chesapeake.
Yeah, that's on Sweet Leaf Place. That's right near City Park in Chesapeake. This is some video that a viewer sent to us from the ground just about half an hour ago or so. The call, we're told, came in to the fire department around 5 o'clock this evening. And the flames spread quickly. We've been told by Chopper 10's John Massey, who's flying above the scene, he saw at least 4 houses involved and a 5th house with damage on the roof. And you're getting a look at the fire at its early stages from Chesapeake. This is in the area of Greenbrier and Battlefield Boulevards, just south of I-64. And there is a live view from Chopper 10. Yeah, we actually saw the flames jump over to that 5th house live on the air. You don't see this happening much. It just goes to show you how powerful the conditions are with the dryness outside, the high winds. We're going to check in with meteorologist Don Slater right now in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. Don, just how high are the winds today?
The winds are not that bad right now. They've dropped off significantly. Toward 5 o'clock, they were gusting to around 18, 20 miles an hour in Chesapeake, which is not that horribly bad. And we've got no red flag warnings in effect, but we do have a little bit of an increased risk for fires, and that's been noted. Now, I want to show you where this is. We've got our map here just to give you an idea where everything is. I'm going to slide it around so you can see, first of all, where 64, I-64, and 464 are right on into here. Just to give you an idea where it is. Here's Chesapeake Expressway right there, going on down a little bit farther southward. Of course, Battlefield Boulevard north, headed southward just a bit. And now we get into the area where it really is, and you can see right on into here, this triangle right into here, that is Chesapeake City Park, and just on the west side of that, right into here, that's what we're looking at, just off Garden Tree Road, or Green Tree Road, north of Kempsville Road. That's where the fire is located. So again, right about into this area is where we are seeing, again, that fire. Now, it looks like a fairly new complex, housing complex right on into here, where we are indeed seeing that particular area. Now, as far as relative humidity, that is somewhat low, but it's not as low as it has been. And as far as the wind gusts, we are not seeing wind gusts above 15 miles an hour into the Chesapeake area right now. A little earlier on, a little before 5 o'clock, we were indeed seeing wind gusts to around 18 miles an hour. And in the middle of the afternoon, early afternoon really, we were seeing some wind gusts to around 24. But right now, the winds are not gusting that badly into Chesapeake. But again, this is the location. This is where everything is right now, right on into here. And I understand we've got the chopper up and about, and John Massey's flying around the top of this thing. I would imagine the winds at flight level for John are quite a bit higher. Now, measurements are taken at 5 feet above the ground for meteorological measurements, but up where you are, John, it's probably quite a bit windier.
Indeed it is, Don. Right now on my airspeed, I'm showing at about 15, gusting up about 20, 23 knots, and we are up at 1,000 feet. What I noticed, though, is the way these houses are lined up. All of them have vinyl siding on them, and they're pretty much almost directly in line with the wind. So I think that may have been a contributing issue when the firefighters first got here. That siding got hot, started to melt, and the fire just spread from one house to the next right down the row. But the good news is, right now it does look like they've got it pretty well knocked down. We're not seeing the open flame that we did. And you can see there still remains some of that open flame, but that's contained to the houses that are unfortunately going to be total losses this afternoon. But we still have not received any word on any injuries associated with the fire. But I can tell you at least 4 are total losses and damage, very heavy damage done to number 5. And Chris, my fellow journalist, if he'll pan down that row, I want to show you that 5th house back down the other direction. That 5th house right there, that's not on fire. Take a look at the side of that house. That's what I was talking about. All the vinyl siding is gone. Now that's the house that we initially saw catch fire shortly after we arrived on scene. Now, so that may have been a contributing factor as to how that line of houses caught fire, just one right after another. That vinyl siding got hot, caught fire, and up goes the entire structure.
And I want to ask you, John, and even Don Slater, bring Don back in, because the winds, 15 to 18 mile an hour gusts you were talking about, not really all that bad, but in this particular case, when you have a fire that begins and you have the vinyl siding, all these ingredients that seem to be the perfect storm, is that enough, Don, to cause this kind of serious movement of flame?
Well, John mentioned it, and the fact that everything seemed to be lined up with the wind. Let's go to the computer here. I want to show you, it's actually a map here showing you these houses. And take a look at these houses. We've got a northwest wind. So if one house catches fire on that northwest wind, it's like dominoes. It's going to go all the way down the line unchecked. So again, if unchecked, thank goodness, obviously the fire trucks are there to really put these fires out, but that's really how that fire could spread with this particular wind that we've had today, which is not all that bad. We have no red flag warnings in effect right now, but the humidity is low, and it has been low, and of course everything is just tinder dry. Now again, we'll widen out, give you an idea of where everything is. It's south of I-64, east of Battlefield Boulevard, and just to the west of the Chesapeake City Park. So if you head out to the Chesapeake Jubilee or anything else just south of that particular area. And of course, City Park is kind of a triangular shaped area, again, just east of this location.
Wow, well, it does look like they're doing a really good job, though, trying to keep this under control, because as Don just pointed out, with that domino effect, this could be much worse, could have been in a much quicker situation. I do want to mention that we are getting a lot of comments on our Facebook page right now. Most people just wanting to say that they're sending out their thoughts and prayers to all those folks out there. Sure hope no one's hurt. That's kind of the recurring theme out there. People are just praying as they're driving home from work. A lot of people from Cedar Road said they could see the flames as they were driving up. We can only imagine what they must have been thinking with all the black smoke that was out there earlier. Again, right now it's starting to calm down, at least as far as the amount of smoke out there. And we're not seeing any flames right now. Doesn't mean there aren't any, though. Well,
and it's difficult to comprehend that about an hour ago, this call first came in, and look at the destruction as shown by Chopper 10. 4 houses destroyed and a 5th one sustaining heavy damage here. And it's not over yet, because that smoke is keeping a lot of what we see underneath rather shielded from the human eye. So firefighters are going to have a long afternoon and probably a long evening, too, staying on top of this to make sure no embers spread to other homes.
Yeah, we know that when there are fires even smaller than this, the firefighters are out there all night long making sure, because it can flare up again.
Absolutely.
Even when it looks like the fire is put out, looks can be deceiving.
We're going to come back with more coverage from Chesapeake after this.